Good morning, friends. Today I am here with part 1 of Biodiversity and Conservation of class 12th. In this session, we will discuss about biodiversity, types of biodiversity and biodiversity in India. So let us start with biodiversity. The concept of biodiversity was first appeared in the year 1980. Biodiversity consists of two Greek words, that is bios and diversity. Bios means life and diversity means forms. So biodiversity is the sum total of diversity that exists at all the level of organization. It consists of different species of microorganisms, algae, fungi, plants and animals present on earth, either in terrestrial or in aquatic environment. The term biodiversity was popularized by Edward Wilson. There are three important biodiversity. The three important biodiversities are genetic diversity, species diversity, and ecological diversity. Here we are going to discuss one by one. First is about genetic diversity. Genetic diversity is related to the variations of genes within species. Greater the genetic diversity among organisms of a species, more sustainable it has against environmental situations. When genetically informed population such as monocultures of crops plant are grown, then they are highly prone to diseases and harsh environment. The genetic variation is shown by a medicinal plant, that is Rolfia vomitoria, different strains of rice and wheat, and different varieties of mango. There are other so many examples also. Rolfia vomitoria produces an active chemical, that is reserpine. This plant reveals genetic variations in different Himalayan ranges in terms of potency and concentration of reserpine. Likewise, India has more than 50,000 genetically different strains of rice and 1,000 varieties of mango. Another diversity is species diversity. It is related to the variety in the number and richness of a species within a region and is measured at the level of a species. It means that it is the diversity at the species level. For example, Western Ghats have greater amphibian species diversity than the Eastern Ghats. Another diversity is ecological diversity. We know that India has several ecosystem biomes like deserts, rainforest, mangroves, coral reefs, wetland, estuaries and alpine meadows. And so it has greater ecosystem diversity than a Scandinavian country like Norway. The given figure represents about the global biodiversity and proportionate number of species of major taxa of plants, invertebrates and vertebrates. This pie chart is also very important for examination point of view. Now the next topic is about biodiversity in India. India is very rich in biodiversity. It is assigned as mega diversity nation along with other 11 countries of the world. India has valuable gene pools upon which the foundations of modern agriculture, horticulture, silviculture, pisciculture, poultry, piggery, dairy, etc. are built. According to IUCN, that is International Union for Conservation of Nature 2004, the total number of plants and animal species described so far is slightly more than 1.5 million. But there is no clear idea that how many species are yet to be discovered and described. In India, there is only 2.4% of land area of the total world, but it has 8.1% of the global species biodiversity. It means it is quite large. There are about 45,000 species of plants and 90,000 to 1 lakh species of animals, and many more are yet to be discovered and named. If we accept Robert May's global estimates, only 22% of the total species have been recorded so far. Others are yet to be discovered and named. Applying this proportion to India's diversity, we estimate that there are probably more than 1 lakh plant species and more than 3 lakh animal species are yet to be discovered and described. Now let us discuss about patterns of biodiversity. It is due to latitudinal gradient or species area relationships. We will discuss here one by one. First, it is about latitudinal gradient. We know that diversity of plants and animals is not uniform throughout the world, but it shows uneven distribution. In general, when we move away from equator towards the pole, then the species diversity decreases. The tropics between 23.5 degree north to 23.5 degrees south contains more species than temperate and polar region. For example, Colombia is situated near equator, has around 1,400 species of birds, while New York, situated at 41 degree north, has 105 species of birds, whereas Greenland, situated near 71 degree north, has about 56 species, and India in equator region has 1,200 species. So this shows the latitude gradient. Likewise, the number of species of vascular plants in tropics is 10 times more than that of temperate forest. The largely tropical Amazonian rainforest in South America has the greatest biodiversity on earth. It consists of about 40,000 species of plants, 1,25,000 species of invertebrates, 3,000 species of fishes, 427 species of amphibians, 378 species of reptiles, 1,300 species of birds, and 427 species of mammals. Thus, you have seen how patterns of biodiversity occurs at different places. Now let us see why there is differences in the biodiversity of temperate and tropical regions, or why tropical regions have greater biodiversity or biological diversity than the temperate region. And this question is very important for examination point of view. There are different regions. First is that tropical latitudes have remained undisturbed for millions of years. So they has a long evolutionary time for a species diversification. But the temperate region are subjected to frequent glaciation in the past. Second reason is that tropical environment are less seasonal and relatively more constant and predictable as compared to temperate one. Due to this, there is greater species diversity. Third reason is that in tropics, the availability of solar energy is more. So there is higher productivity and greater diversity as compared to temperate region. Now we will discuss about another pattern of biodiversity, that is species area richness. The great German naturalist and geographer Alexander von Humboldt, he observed that within a region, species richness increased when we explore the area. Means it will be increasing with increasing explore area, but it will be only up to a summit, that certain limit. The relation between species richness and area for a wide variety of taxa, that is angiospermic plants, birds, bats, freshwater fishes, they turns out to be a rectangular hyperbola when plotted against the graph. On a logarithm scale, the relationship is a straight line and described by the equation, that is log S is equal to log C plus Z log A, where S is species richness, A is area, Z is slope of the line, C is y-intercept, and the value of Z lies in the range of 0.1 to 0.2 degree, 0.1 to 0.2 only, regardless of the taxonomic group or any region. But the species area relationship among very large area like the entire continent, the value increases. The value of Z increases and it will be 0.6 to 1.2. For fruit eating birds, that is frugivorous, and mammals, the value of Z increases and it will be 1.15. Here it is a graph showing species area relationship. Note that the on log scale the relationship become linear, but otherwise it is hyperbola. Thank you. For any kind of doubts, please write your question in comment section.